How is it that we can allow the country to be misgoverned and misruled by William Ruto? And when we call him out, we are labeled tribalists. I don't need to be a Kalenjin or a Kikuyu or a Kamba for me to say that it is not permissible or feasible for somebody to sell the most productive government investment, and that is Safaricom. Safaricom does not belong to Kalenjins or Kikuyus or Kambas or Luos. It is our national heritage. It's our national entity. So it matters not whether I'll be labeled or shall be labeled tribalist. The fact is that the safari has begun for liberating and rebuilding this country. And the faster we get rid of William Ruto, the quicker the country will begin to heal. If Mr. Sosioni thinks that we are wasting time with this kind of a debate, he's free to go and sleep. He's not going to dictate for us or to us whom we should listen or how we should engage or spend our time. We have chosen to spend our time on this space because it is material and it is one of the space that is changing and revolutionizing the manner in which Kenyans are approaching things and issues. Again, Mr. Sosioni, you will allow me to school you in a field that you're quite ignorant on, and that is the field of law. And in that, I'll tell you that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua still stands an opportunity to contest for presidency in this country until the Supreme Court confirms his impeachment. Don't you forget that when Mr. William Ruto was contesting for the deputy president of this country in 2013, he was facing crimes against humanity, rape, forced disappearance, murdering and burning our people in a church. So don't forget that he was facing some of the most heinous crimes a man can ever face under the sun. So telling us that Rigathi Gachagua is not competent because he has suffered an impeachment, you might want to ask yourself what then would have happened to William Ruto, who was facing crimes of rape and extermination of a community. And we still have him to date, notwithstanding that his case is still pending at the Hague, that should there arise an occasion where evidence emerges, Mr. William Ruto will still be a candidate of the Hague. His case was never terminated. It was withdrawn for lack of evidence. And of course, we all know what happened to Yebei and others, so that they were not able to have their day in court. Mr. Sosioni, if you want to be honest enough, you might want to ask Mr. William Ruto what happened to Yebei, that he was not able to present himself in court to come and testify against William Ruto and the examination of the people. So, going back to the issue at hand, I would say that Rigathi Gachagua was so clear today that for him, he has not zoned any region or any place in this country. You had him actually, Dibal, inviting Babu Owino. Babu Owino does not come from Mount Kenya region or Kamba region. He also invited Sifuna. Sifuna does not come from any region within the meaning of the Mount Kenya. So it is all of those people who think that by labeling Gachagua a tribalist will make him not associate with the Wiper Patriotic Front. And Mr. Sosioni, for your information, I am not a member of the DCP. I am a member of Wiper Patriotic Front. To the best of my memory and recollection, Wiper Patriotic Front is a Kamba used to be predominant in Kamba region previously, but now it's predominantly in the whole country. And that is why myself from Kirinyaga, I'm a member of Wiper Patriotic Front from Kirinyaga. Kirinyaga is not anywhere within the Kambaland. Recently, we unveiled and we have opened offices across the country. We even had a candidate in Ugunja parliamentary election. It tells you that it's a party that is dominant in the whole country. And I was just about to finish by saying that doesn't matter how much you want to label Rigathi Gachagua as a tribalist. We are going to coalesce with like-minded political parties. And that is why Wiper and DCP are collaborating. And we are collaborating, one, so that we can deliver this country from the shackles and the enslavement of Mr. William Ruto. You know, how is it that we can allow the country to be misgoverned and misruled by William Ruto? And when we call him out, we are labeled tribalists. I don't need to be a Kalenjin or a Kikuyu or a Kamba for me to say that it is not permissible or feasible for somebody to sell the most productive government investment, and that is Safaricom. Safaricom does not belong to Kalenjins or Kikuyus or Kambas or Luos. It is our national heritage. It's our national entity. So it matters not whether I'll be labeled or shall be labeled tribalist. The fact is that the safari has begun for liberating and rebuilding this country. And the faster we get rid of William Ruto, the quicker the country will begin to heal. As I sum up the ball, it is not possible for us to speak about issues without speaking about getting rid of William Ruto. William Ruto is the one who has misgoverned this country. He's the one who has eroded and withered our institutions. So for us to restore confidence in our health, public health, William Ruto must go. For us to restore our education system to the functionality where Kibaki and Uhuru left it, William Ruto must go. For us to deal with the question of food security, the Galana Kulalu, the GMOs that William Ruto is trying to introduce in this country, to save our indigenous seeds, William Ruto must go. For us to be able to have women deliver in our clinics free of charge, as they used to deliver during the time of Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto must go. For us to fight corruption and be able to restore our country back to the path of prosperity, we cannot do it with Mr. William Ruto in power. Therefore, Mr. William Ruto must go. For us to restore the growth of our infrastructure and the growth of our economy as it used to be, William Ruto must go. These things cannot be done. You cannot speak to people who are hungry about policies, about anything else. You must tell them where the problem is. Even in Christianity and even in Islam, people speak about the devil. They tell him that the devil is a problem. They don't tell him the devil causes illness, the devil comes in forms of thief or murder. We speak about the devil, the specific person that we want to address. We tell them, if you want to get to heaven and redeem yourself, free away from Satan. And that's so it is for this country, that William Ruto is the problem that we have. Sovereignty is not just a celebration of self-governance or there being a state or there being a flag that we raise or there being a constitution that we respect. It goes to meeting the tenets of that particular constitution, and among them is the protection of its citizens. Remember, in the international law, one qualification for a state to achieve recognition is that it must have a permanent population. The question, therefore, that arises is how secure will this data be, and how will it affect our sovereignty? Number two, who will be in full control of this data, knowing that some of this data itself is confidential? Remember, even in local municipal situations, you'll not just access any data belonging to a particular patient easily, because it's always protected under the doctrine of confidentiality, and this Dr. Njikal understands. Number two, even what was happening has not been sanctioned by parliament. So the guy, out of greed and personal aggrandizement, is even skipping very special and exclusive powers of parliament to sanction such kind of engagements. Remember, there's a debate that is going and should be going around our country. The debate about the parliament being the only law-making institution. When somebody goes out there and comes up with a covenant, and the covenant has not been subjected through the due process of parliament, and you expect that this covenant should bind Kenyans, then the question is, who between parliament and Mr. William Ruto is the legislature, and who possesses the legislative powers? So what is happening is that Mr. William Ruto has decided, out of his own greed, out of his own selfish interest, to undermine our constitution, something that raises an impeachable ground if we had a competent and impartial parliament. So we are headed for a collision, a nosedive in our country if something is not done to get rid of Mr. William Ruto and done urgently. Thank you.